Hey there, beautiful teachers, and welcome to another Vibrant Music Teacher Chat. This is the weekly show on YouTube where we talk about all beautiful things music teaching. I'm a piano teacher myself, and I live in Dublin, in Ireland, if we haven't met before, and I run a few sites now. Colourful Keys is my blog. Vibrant Music Teaching, which is a membership all about games and resources and courses for learning more about teaching and running your business effectively. And then we have the Vivid Practice app, which is at vividpractice.com, and that is your way to organize all of your students' assignments and their way to know what they're supposed to be doing and how they're supposed to be doing it and to structure their own practice. So that's vividpractice.com, and that one has a free account level so you can test it out and see how it works for you. So today's topic is all about transfer students. Before we get there, just a couple of bits of news. Great chat going on already about transfer students, which I love. So first of all, the Practice Symposium is coming up soon. So the Practice Symposium is on the 13th to the 15th of February, so that we can spend Valentine's Day together, right? So it is a 3-day event. It is live every day for those 3 days. The timing is 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. my time. And I'm only going to give you a rough idea because you can look this up on the page. But that is basically morning-ish, late morning to early morning in the US, okay? And then in Europe, it's that kind of afternoon time. There will be replays of our 2-hour training sessions. There won't be a replay for the last hour because that's where we get together, all the attendees get together and discuss the topic of the day, what they're learning, various things in our huddle calls. So that's on Zoom all together. So that is coming up really soon. You definitely want to book your place if you haven't already. And that's the link to do it. vibrantmusicteaching.com/PS, which stands for Practice Symposium. And I cannot wait to see you there. We've got some fantastic guest speakers, and I'll also be giving sessions myself. Today, actually, I was recording the session with Samantha Coates. So the way this works, these kinds of events work, is that I'm there live, like I am right now, and you're in the chat live, and then I pre-record the guest sessions, or they send them to me pre-recorded, so that we don't have any timing issues, technical hiccups, and also so that we can have fantastic people like Samantha Coates, who's in Sydney and would never be able to attend live at that time. So I was her dummy student, fake student, for her session. So we recorded that together this morning, which was fantastic, so much fun. I can't wait to give you those ideas. Really just practical practice strategies, things that work, things that are going to make a real difference in your studio, as well as different ways of thinking about practice. I think it's going to make such a difference. So definitely make sure you're registered for it. Again, that's vibrantmusicteaching.com/PS for Practice Symposium. And it's in mid-February. It's in 2 weeks now. Just under 2 weeks. So that's a Practice Symposium. We also have a special member challenge this month. So for all of February, I'm calling it Film Yourself February. Okay, so if you watch the show regularly, you'll know that I talk a lot about filming your teaching, taking a video of your teaching and watching it back. I talk about it a lot because I think it takes a bit of courage, a bit of getting over yourself. Is that an Irish phrase? Anyway, a bit of a push to get going with this because no one likes watching themselves on video. I get that. It's not fun. Trust me, just because I record videos all the time doesn't mean that it was ever easy for me in the beginning. It's painful to watch yourself, and that's true no matter what you look like and no matter what you sound like, because we hear our voices differently and we see ourselves differently, and it just feels a bit funny to watch yourself sometimes. However, it is worth it. It is totally worth it because you will learn things about your teaching through watching yourself in real time, like watching the recording as if you're a fly on the wall, that you can never learn by me telling you them or even by someone else observing your teaching, although you're unlikely to have a chance to do that very often. So it makes such a difference. but I know it's not the easiest thing to do, which is why for members, if you record yourself and post a video of your teaching, it can be just like a short clip. If you post it in the Facebook group or in our member forums during the month of February, during Film Yourself February, you'll be in the running to win a little prize. So that's my extra push. It's also just going to be so valuable to watch each other's teaching. There are lots of examples of my teaching in the library already, in our training library. So I record my lessons and I post clips of them. I haven't done that for a little while, mostly because a lot of it is already there, right? There's a lot of clips already there. So you can see my teaching, but you need lots of examples. You need people who speak differently, who work differently, different types of students to really digest these things. So you're going to get to watch each other's teaching, and I just think it's wonderful. We already had our first member post a clip today, which is just fantastic. So Dawn posted her clip earlier, and 1st of February. I mean, fantastic. So we're off to a good start. Let's keep the momentum going. So if you're a member, definitely post. And if you're not a member, of course you can join us by joining at vibrantmusicteaching.com. But even if you can't do that right now, still consider participating. Maybe just in your own private way, record your teaching and watch it and make notes to yourself. It makes such a difference. My final little extra note is about MTNA. So it's February now. Today is February. Wow. And MTNA is coming up in March. So it's happening next month. And if you haven't already registered and planned your trip, now is the time to do that. It's so fun. I was there last year for the first time. I just love big conferences like this. Like, you get so many ideas and inspiration and affirmation, like things you're doing well. You might go to some sessions and go, yeah, I've got this down already, and that feels great. But more important than all of that is connecting with other teachers like you. Finding other teachers to chat to, talking to me. If you come up to me, I'd be happy to chat to you, but anyone else around, you'll find friends to chat to, and you'll find it to be a very welcoming bunch. I've never had a bad experience. This is going to sound like it's a bit pointed, but I've never had a bad experience at an American conference. Like, I've been to NCKP several times now, and MTNA. This will be my second one, and I've never had anyone be snooty or difficult or rude or not open to chatting at the conference. So even if you're on your own and it feels a bit scary, I want to encourage you to give it a go. It's in Atlanta, and I just saw in their recent email about it that if you live in the Atlanta area, you can get a complimentary pass to just the exhibit hall for no cost. So if you're in Atlanta, and even if you can't afford the ticket, maybe just come by to the exhibit hall. We'll have a booth there. I'd love to see you, so that would be fantastic. I know that's only a few people, but still should be fun. Yay, Laura! Fantastic. So glad you're going. Okay, let's dive in and talk about transfer students and positions. Right, folks, so let's start with transfer students in general. When we talk about transfer students, what we mean is students who have some level of experience, right? And they come with some challenges. Some transfer students, you might be amazed at what they can already do. And you might even think about, hey, how did their teacher get them to this level of playing? But more often, we end up feeling like we're not sure what they know, and we feel like maybe there's gaps in what they know. So we need to find out what they don't know, fill in some of those gaps, and we need to do all of that while it's a new relationship, right? So we can't do it just by saying, okay, we're just going to blast through all this, because then they might end up feeling like we're not fun or we're not having a good relationship with them, right? So this is a brand new relationship and we want it to be a fun experience for them. We need them to feel good about what they're doing. We don't want to be saying, oh my gosh, you don't know that, you don't know this. So we need to kind of assess where the gaps are and do that through a little bit of sleuthing and a little bit of them playing, maybe sight reading. I like to do a lot of this through games, so in the context of a game, if they don't know a theory term, it's not a big deal, but we can kind of start to get an idea of what they know and what they don't know. And I always like to assure transfer students that, hey, we do things a bit differently here. So some of this, I might ask you if you know it. It's not because you should know it by now, it's because I'm trying to get an idea where you're up to. What are some warning flags about position-basedness in our transfer student? How do we know if they are in this position-based mode? I think there are a few things. If you ask them a particular note, what it's called, and they tell you a finger number, like let's say you point to an E and they say 3, that might be a bit of a warning sign. So maybe they start asking you, hey, where do my hands go? And they can't really play anything until you show them where it is, or they're looking for a picture on the page of where they go on the piano. Maybe they're really bothered by any time it crosses over, so like your finger 2 goes over your finger 1 or something like that, or any time it moves and that really bothers them. Maybe they don't notice when something changes position, so you ask them to play a piece and it moves at some point and they just keep playing, not realizing that it's not correct anymore, but they're just reading only the intervals. And I believe in interval-based reading. But when a student doesn't notice at all, that might be a red flag. Or maybe they're just using the finger numbers to read the notes, right? So they see a 3 and they automatically just play 3 no matter where it is. Now, some of your students might have these issues as well. It's not exclusive to transfer students who has learned in a different way. We need to gradually bridge that gap, right? So what can we do? Well, this guy is going to help you out. So this is our brand new book. It's concept collection number 5. So these are limited edition collections inside the Vibrant Music Teaching Library. And the theme of this one is Unposition. So this is 4 different composers have come together and written 2 pieces each that they think will help your student who needs to break out of positions. So that's one great resource to go to. You have to get that before the end of March. It will disappear after that. So you can get hard copies on the Colourful Keys shop, or you can download your member copy if you're a Vibrant Music Teaching member in the library. So when it comes to making this transition, I believe with anything with a transfer student, that we need to do things quite gently in terms of the reading. So figuring out gentle changes to make with their reading. Perhaps if there's a big discrepancy between their reading and their playing, we have some pieces that they're learning whatever way they used to kind of learn them. And then some of our style pieces, right? To start to bridge the gap without totally abandoning what they were doing before. Okay, what else can we do though? With transfer students, I use a lot of games to catch up. So building their note name knowledge, building their intervallic knowledge. And then we also do a lot of rote pieces that move around a lot, because that's going to train them to move around. I'm just going to give you a quick tour inside the library, and then we're going to have to wrap up early today because clearly my throat just won't behave itself today. So this is where Unposition lives. This is concept collection number 5. If you remember, you can download that now and you can save it on your computer and have it forever. It's a studio license. What you can't do is get it after March, the end of March. We can't let you have it after that date. So make sure you download it before the end of March because it will disappear and we'll have our new concept collection then. We also have this month Pre-Reading Railroad, which was mentioned in the chat, which is a pre-reading level of our Reading Railroad series. And we have Spiky Fence, which is a great one to work on the circle of fifths, and it's slightly easier level than what we've had before. We have Pretty Peas, which is all about patterns. And then we have our chromatic scale sync. So this is our scale backing track series where You get videos of me playing the scales and backing tracks on their own as well, so that your students can practice playing without stopping, being able to keep in time with the track and keep playing the whole time. Serena had a question. Articles, podcast chats on burnout. Yes, we definitely do. I would just search the Colourful Keys site. So go to colourfulkeys.blog. colourfulkeys.ie/blog, and then search for burnout. We have several resources on that. You can also search the channel here. I've done an episode about that before as well. Sorry guys, but I'm going to have to wrap up because, I don't know, my throat has just gone so dry. Not from nerves, just like dust or something. So I'm going to have to wrap up, but thank you for hanging out with me. It's been a blast as always, and I'll see you back here next week.